Hey friends, happy Monday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor and I share What's for Dinner videos just like this every week. This week's What's for Dinner, they're pretty quick and simple, easy meals. I've mentioned it the past couple of weeks. The weather this summer is just too hot. I don't want to be in the kitchen. I am looking forward to fall. But any recipes that I do have will be listed in the description box. Now let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. So to make cooking dinner a little bit easier this week, when I got done with doing the grocery haul last week, I took all of the ground beef that I bought and browned it up with some diced onion and salt and pepper. And this was I think before draining off all the grease and everything, before cooking it, it was 5 pounds of meat. So I ended up taking half of this and using it for the chili, and then the other part I ended up dividing in half again and using that for 2 separate meals you'll see later in the week. So for the first meal using the ground beef, I took 2 pounds of the ground beef and I made this chili. I am doubling the chili recipe, so the original recipe will be linked down below, but I'm adding in 2 cans of Rotel or the Aldi brand, and then 4 cans of chili beans, 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce, and then 2 packets of taco seasoning. And then I'm going to add in my cooked meat, my ground beef with the onion in it. Then I just gave that all a really good mix and put the lid on this and let it cook on high for about 4 hours, or you could do low for 6 to 8 hours. The meat is already cooked, so really you just want to get all those flavors combined really nicely by cooking it in the crock pot. I have made this chili quite a few times. I don't usually eat this as chili, a bowl of chili like my usual chili. This is completely different from my regular chili that I usually make in the crock pot in the fall. This to me is chili for chili dogs, or chili for smothered Frito bowls, which to me is very similar to nachos. This is not a fall meal to me. I mean, I guess it can be, but to me this is summery because it's basically nachos. Although my kids chose to eat it as just a bowl of chili with their Fritos on the side. I topped mine with some lettuce and cheese and tomato and a little bit of Taco Bell sauce and ate it on top of Fritos. We've also done this on top of Doritos, and that is really good too. You could also just use tortilla chips, but it's basically like nachos and it's very, very good. Saturday we took the leftover chili and did chili dogs. So I've got some Nathan's hot dogs here that I took and put in the air fryer and cooked them up, and then heated up the chili, put that on top, got some mustard on there of course, and then some cheddar cheese on top. I think the kids had some bugles or something with this, some sort of chips, but I just wanted 2 hot dogs and that was it. Sunday night I made cheeseburger pasta. I have made this many times, but since I already had a bunch of cooked ground beef this week, it made making dinner a lot faster. So I took half of what I had left in the fridge, which was about a pound of ground beef cooked up with some onion, and I'm seasoning it up with a little bit of garlic powder and onion salt and pepper. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of ketchup and mustard and pickle juice and just kind of warm that through. The ketchup and mustard and pickle juice is all to taste. I just start with a little bit, and then you can taste it once it's all mixed up and warmed up and see if you want to add more. You just want it to taste like a cheeseburger, and I find that adding ketchup, mustard, and pickle juice really achieves that flavor. Then once it's all warmed through, I'm going to start adding my beef broth and milk and water. So I do 1 cup of beef broth, or I just did water, and I'm going to add Knorr beef bouillon. And then 1 cup of milk and 1.5 cups of water. So total, if you're using the Knorr beef bouillon, is 2.5 cups of water. But all of this recipe will be typed up down below for you guys if you want to make it yourselves. And then I just give that a good stir and bring it to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, I stir in 2 cups of elbow pasta. I reduce the heat to like a medium low and put a lid on this and let it cook for 10 to 15 minutes. You just want to check on it and see when your noodles get tender. I usually check around the 10-minute mark, give it a stir, test a noodle. If it's not done, I put the lid back on and let it continue cooking. But once it is done, then I add in some shredded cheddar cheese. And this time I was feeling some American, so I did like 2 slices of American and stirred those in as well. And then once all that cheese is melted and combined in, it's ready to serve. This night I served it with some corn on the cob that I made in the air fryer. I actually meant to have this corn with hot dogs the night before, but I completely forgot about it. So we had corn on the cob with this, and it was delicious. This is like supposed to be like boxed hamburger helper, but just made at home. Homemade cheeseburger pasta. Monday night, I made KFC Bowls, which really the only thing that I really had to do for this was make some mashed potatoes. And I make those in the Instant Pot. I can leave a video down below where I've made those before. And then I cooked up some chicken tenders in the air fryer. And I made some gravy. If you didn't know, the best way to get like something similar to the KFC gravy at home is mixing a chicken gravy packet with a beef gravy packet, and you get the closest in flavor, because apparently that's what they do at KFC, and that's why their gravy is so good. But yeah, then like some corn and cheese, and it was delicious and super easy. Tuesday night, we had tacos. Again, really easy because I already had that ground beef cooked. So I let that ground beef simmer in a pan with some water and taco seasoning while I made this boxed Mexican rice. I also made some black beans with a little bit of taco seasoning, and then cooked my shells in the air fryer. And we had tacos, rice, and beans. Wednesday night, we had Tuna Melts. The kids like to do their Tuna Melts as like sandwiches, but the way Andy originally made a Tuna Melt for me the first time I ever had one was as an open face sandwich. So you just take the sourdough and like the Tuna Melt mixture of like mayo and mustard and tuna, and you put that on the bread and then the cheese on top and get it nice and toasty and bubbly. But I forgot to get a picture of mine or his plate, so all we have is the kids that just looks like a tuna sandwich. And we had some bugles and fresh veggies on the side. And finally, Thursday night, we just picked up a pizza. I was not feeling like cooking. We were out and about playing Pokemon, and we passed by the pizza place, and I was like, you want pizza for dinner? So Andy went in, ordered a pizza. We went and played some more Pokemon, and then went back and picked up our pizza. We just got like a meat pizza with, I think, sausage and pepperoni and ham. I think that was it. It was delicious. If you're local to us, this place, Your Pizza Man, it's just called Pizza Man, I think. The box says Your Pizza Man. It's pretty good. It's not like our favorite pizza, but it's fast and pretty cheap and delicious for that price. You, of course, can get better pizza, but it, of course, costs more. But this is pretty good and one of our go-to little spots. And that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I hope you got some sort of meal ideas from it, or at least some inspiration and motivation to cook more for your family. If you made it here all the way to the end, make sure you leave me a smiley face emoji down in the comments. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you on Wednesday with the next grocery haul. Bye!